Good morning and welcome to today's New York City Council hearing for the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. If you wish to submit testimony, you may at testimony@council.nyc.gov. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Oh, there we go. All right. Good morning. I'm Councilmember Farah Lewis, Chair of the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. I am joined today by my colleagues, Councilmembers Felice, Ung, Vernikoff, and Joseph. Did I forget anyone else? There we go. All right. Before we begin with today's agenda, I will recognize the Subcommittee Council to explain today's hearing procedures.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. I am Arthur Ha, counsel to this subcommittee. This meeting is being held in a hybrid format. Members of the public who wish to testify may do so in person or remotely via Zoom. Those wishing to testify remotely are asked to register online, and you may do so now by visiting www.council.nyc.gov/land use to sign up. If you have already registered but not yet signed into the Zoom, please do so now and remain signed in until after you have testified. If you have written testimony you would like the subcommittee to consider in addition to or instead of appearing before the subcommittee, please send it via email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Please indicate the LU number or project name in the subject line of your email. In the event of any technical issues with today's meeting, we ask everyone for your continued patience as we work through those. Chair Lewis will now continue with today's agenda.
Thank you. I will begin today's hearing meeting by opening two public hearings for applications submitted by the School Construction Authority pursuant to Section 1732 of the New York School Construction Authority Act for proposed site selections for school facilities. We'll first hear from SCA staff regarding the two sites, and then we will take public testimony on both items. I'll remind anyone wishing to testify remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online, and you may do that now by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. We will hear pre-considered application number G 220027 SCQ, a proposed site selection for a new approximately 547-seat primary school facility located at 23-10 43rd Avenue in the Court Square, Long Island City neighborhood of Queens, in Council District represented by Councilmember Wan. And we will also hear pre-considered application number G 220028 SCQ, a proposed site selection for a new approximately 659-seat high school facility located at 13-20 124th Street in the College Point neighborhood, also in the borough of Queens, in the Council District represented by Councilmember Palladino. Presenting these items on behalf of the School Construction Authority will be Kelly Murphy. Council, would you please administer the affirmation?
Thank you, Chair. I'll note that we also have Michael Martinez of the School Construction Authority. Ms. Murphy and Mr. Martinez, would you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Thank you.
You may begin.
Yes, there's no presentation. Oh, there it goes. There we are. Good morning, Chair Lewis and council members. As I said, my name is Kelly Murphy. I'm the Director of Real Estate Services at the School Construction Authority, and I'm joined by my colleague, Michael Martinez, Senior Manager of Real Estate Services. We're very happy to be here today to present two site selections for a proposed new primary school at 2310 43rd Avenue in Long Island City, and a proposed new high school at 1320 124th Street in College Point. The School Construction Authority has undertaken the site selection process for a new approximately 547-seat primary school located at 43rd Avenue, Block 436, Lot 21, in the borough of Queens. The site is approximately 21,156 square feet, about half an acre, and it was formerly utilized as a 5-story office building. The site is located within Queens Community District Number 2, Community School District Number 30, and the Long Island Court Square neighborhood. Can we go to that slide soon? There we are. So this site is, here's like an overview of the site. You can see the Queensboro Bridge and the Sunnyside Yards to the south and to the east. And it's located in the heart of Court Square. Next slide. No? There we go. There's a tax map of the site showing block. It's a tax lot, 21 on block 436. Next slide. This is just a closer in view of the site. You can see the actual building, and the site is bounded by 43rd Avenue to the north, 24th Street to the east, 23rd Street to the west, and there's currently a residential development to the south. Next slide. This is the official notice of filing. The notice of filing for the site plan was published in AM New York and the City Record on November 28, 2022, which time Community Education Council number 30, Queens Community Board number 2, and the City Plan Commission were also notified. Queens Community Board number 2 held a public hearing on January 5th, 2023, and they issued a letter of support on January 6th, 2023. Community Education Council number 30 also held a public hearing on December 12th, 2022. All public comments received on the site were considered as part of the site selection process. The SEA affirms the site plan pursuant to Section 1731 of New York Public Authorities Law. In accordance with Section 1732 of PAL, the SEA submitted the proposed site plan to the Mayor and City Council by letter dated February 17th, 2023. Next slide. So these next couple slides are just some images of the building and the surrounding area. So you can see the existing 5-story building. The picture on the left shows the site looking southwest from the intersection of 43rd Avenue and 24th Street. And the one on the right shows a view looking southeast from the intersection of 43rd and 23rd Street. Next slide. Just some more images. This is a view on the left, is a view along East 23rd towards the project site. You can see the number 7 train in the view there, very close. And on the right, looking southwest along 23rd Street between 42nd Road and the Queensboro Bridge ramp. Next slide. Just some project facts. The existing building will be demolished to accommodate the construction of the new primary school. The site is very well served with transit, but subway and buses. The new primary school will have approximately 547 seats, and the design for the school includes classrooms for pre-kindergarten to grade 5, District 75 classroom, music and art classrooms, a science room, library, reading and resource rooms, cafeteria, and an administrative space. So I'll just stop here and to see if there's any questions.
All right, thank you for your presentation, and I now invite my colleagues if you have any questions. All right, being there. Councilmember Feliz would love a school in his district. All right, if there are no further questions, the applicant panel is excused. Oh, you have a question, sorry, go ahead. Councilmember Joseph.
Thank you. Good morning. Is there a playground for children?
Yeah, so it looks like it'll be on a little bit on the ground floor. But the school hasn't been designed. We just do a test fit to make sure we can fit the program. But we'll know more when the project gets designed. But right now, we're planning on having a school
You're planning
program.
on having open space for the kids?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Marte.
Sorry, no question.
You still have a question?
No, sorry.
All right, thank you. If there are no further questions, the applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
If there are any remote public participants who wish to testify and have not already done so on the pre-considered LU items for these 2 SEA school sightings, please press the raise hand button now. And if you are here with us in person and wish to testify, please see one of the sergeants to fill out a speaker card. Chair, the meeting will briefly stand at ease while we confirm no other speakers.
All right. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify on the pre-considered LU items for the two SCA school sightings under application numbers G22027 SCQ and G220028 SCQ, the public hearing is now closed. We will now move on to the number
We
of
didn't
LPC.
I apologize for interrupting. That was just the first school. I hadn't presented the second school.
Okay. We'll reopen the public hearing
My apologies.
so that, okay, and we give you the opportunity now to
Can
present.
we do, there's a second presentation? If you can, keep going. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. The New York City School Construction Authority has undertaken a site selection process for a new approximately 659-seat high school facility located at 1320 124th Street, Block 3998, Lot 1, in the Borough of Queens. The site is approximately 47,952 square feet, about 1.1 acres. Property was formerly utilized as a private Catholic high school and consists of a vacant school building, surrounding grounds, and a paved parking lot. Site is located within Queens Community District Number 7 and Community School District Number 12 in the College Point neighborhood of Queens. You can see this overview. The site is located in the heart of College Point, in the middle of a low-density neighborhood. Next slide, please. This is just the tax map, excuse me. This is Block 3998, Lot 1. Next slide, please. This is our official notice of filing. The notice of filing of the site plan was published in AM New York and the City Record on November 28th, 2022, at which time the City Council on High Schools, Queens Community Board Number 7, and the City Planning Commission were notified of the proposed site plan. The Education Committee for Queens Community Board Number 7 held a public hearing on December 13th, 2022, and the full Queens Community Board Number 7 held a public hearing on January 9th, 2023. The Citywide Council on High Schools held a public hearing on January 11th, 2023. All public comments received on the site were considered as part of the site selection process. The SCA affirms that the site plan pursuant to Section 1731 of New York Public Authorities Law. In accordance with 1732 of the PAL, the SCA submitted the proposed site plan to the Mayor and City Council dated February 17, 2023. So if you can move to the next slide, please. Thank you. This is just some images of the site. The first photo is a view of the project site looking northwest from the intersection of 14th Avenue and 124th Street. And the photo on the right is looking southwest from the eastern side of 124th Street. Next slide. This is just a straight view of the existing school building, which will be repurposed for the new high school. Next image. The picture on the right is the rear of the school building and the parking lot viewed from 123rd Street looking east. And the photo on the right is a view of the rear of the building from 123rd Street looking right. Next slide. Just some project facts. As I said, this is an existing private school building that will be converted to a new high school. And that site consists of the school grounds and a parking lot. The proposed new high school will have approximately 659 seats and includes 18 classrooms for 9th through 12th grades, 2 special education classrooms, a music room, an art room, science lab, reading and speech resources room, a gym and exercise room, kitchen cafeteria, library, guidance, medical suites, and administrative offices, and a play yard. We look forward to the subcommittee's favorable consideration of our 2 proposed school sites. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So you said that it was going to be repurposed. There's going to be no construction done at all?
Well, there'll be renovations of the building itself. There will be a new play yard and, onto the site. It's an older building, so there'll be some substantial renovations to the building.
All right, thank you. Do any of my colleagues have any questions? All right, being that there's none, if there's no further questions, the applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
Once again, if there are any remote public participants who wish to testify on either of these 2 SEA sightings, please use the raise hand button now. And if you are here in person and wish to testify, please see a sergeant to submit a speaker card.
Being that there are no members of the public who wish to testify on preconsidered LU's items for these 2 SCA school sightings under application numbers G220027 SCQ and G220028 SCQ, the public hearing is now closed. We will now move on to a number of LPC designations on our calendar. Because of the number of landmark items we have today, we will first hear a series of presentations from LPC staff relating to all of the proposed designations, and then we will give members of the public an opportunity to testify on these designations. For anyone here wishing to testify regarding more than one landmark designation, I'll ask that you please fill out a separate speaker card for each item, and if you would clarify during your testimony which items you are speaking on, we will allow you to provide your remarks all at once. With that, I will now open the public hearing for 4 separate LPC designations, including LU 167 for the Lesbian Her Story Archives in Brooklyn, LU 170 for the Samuel Gompers Industrial High School in the Bronx, LU 171 for the Julius Barr Building in Manhattan, and pre-considered LU for the Melrose Parkside Historic District in Brooklyn under application number N230177HKK. Before we hear from the LPC's panelists, I'll take this moment to read into the record statements of support by some of my colleagues in whose districts these landmark designations are being considered. I'll start with Councilmember Ayala. I am in support of the historic landmark designation of the Samuel Gompers Industrial High School. This building was constructed in 1931/1932 and was one of the first vocational high schools in New York City devoted to a specific industry. The building continues to train the next generation of innovators and leaders at home to Mott Haven Community High School, Health, Education, and Research Occupations High School, also known as HERO, and New Visions Charter School for the humanities. I hope that my colleagues will join me in supporting this historic designation and vote yes. I'll now read remarks from Councilmember Bottcher. I am proud to support the historic landmark designation of the Julius Barr Building, the New York City's most significant site of pre-Stonewall LGBTQ activism. Every LGBTQ New Yorker stands on the shoulders of those before us who came out, stood up, and were counted and demanded equality. I would like to thank the Landmarks Preservation Commission for their equitable approach to making our rich history visible. Because of LGBTQ history is New York City history. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this designation, to vote yes. I will now read remarks from Councilmember Hanif. I am proud today to offer my support for landmark designation of the Lesbian Her Stories Archives. The Lesbian Her Story Archives is the nation's oldest and largest collection of lesbian and queer-related historical material. Born out of the movement for LGBTQ rights in New York City, inclusion and community were at the forefront of its founding. Since its inception, one of its founding principles has been to be a place where ideas and experiences from the past interact with the living issues of the lesbian community. I would like to thank the Landmarks Preservation Commission for spotlighting the largely unseen but important history of lesbian and queer New Yorkers. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the designation and in supporting this designation and to vote yes. Last but not least, Councilmember Joseph is here as well, and I'd like to turn it over to Councilmember Joseph to deliver her statement today. Councilmember Joseph.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Chair Lewis. I would like to commend the applicant team for their consideration of the history of Flatbush. I'm pleased to support the designation of this block in my district. The houses on this block were built between 1909 and 1915, are well preserved and architecturally distinctive within the Flatbush neighborhood. They stand out with their neoclassic architectural style and as early examples of the Kinko-style two-family homes. Over the last century, the neighborhood has been home to Black and Caribbean families, and designation preserved not only the buildings, but the legacy of the people who created a community here. I encourage my colleagues to join me in support and to vote yes on this historic district designation. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Joseph. With that, Council, would you please call the LPC panelists and administer the affirmation?
Appearing today on behalf of the LPC is Kate Lemos-McHale, and also available for a Q&A is Sonia Guillor. Panelists, would you please raise your right hands, and I will ask each of you individually in turn to answer the following. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Kate Lemos-McHale.
I do.
Sonia Guillor.
I do.
Thank you.
You may begin.
Thank you, Chair Lewis, and thank you, subcommittee members. I'm Kate Lemos-McHale. I'm the Director of Research at Landmarks, and Sonia Guillor joining me is our Director of Community and Intergovernmental Affairs. We're really glad to have the opportunity to present these recent designations. They have all helped further LPC's goals of equitable designations through the 5 boroughs, and they protect significant architectural character that highlight the city's diversity, and we've had good support for them. I will start with the Lesbian Her Story Archives, and if we could go to the next slide, please. 484 14th Street in Park Slope, Brooklyn is culturally significant as the home since 1991 of the Lesbian Her Story Archives, the nation's oldest and largest collection of lesbian-related historical material. The organization's headquarters for over 30 years, this Renaissance Revival-style building is where the archives expanded its collection, grew to national prominence, and it continues to serve a vital role. Next slide, please. The Landmarks Preservation Commission designated this building an individual landmark on November 22nd. We received in-person and written testimony in support of designation from 40 people, including representatives of the Lesbian Her Stories Archives, the New York City LGBT Historic Sites Project, and several organizations, and we're really grateful to have the support from Councilmember Hanif. The archives is located within Brooklyn's Park Slope Historic District. It was originally a 2-family row house. It was built in 1908, and it contributes to the character of the historic district, but because that district was designated in 1973, before the archives was located here, the report doesn't talk about the significance of the archives and in particular, the significant LGBTQ significance here. So the designation as an individual landmark does recognize that significance, solidifies the period of significance to their time in the building, and as the city's first landmark, or Brooklyn's first landmark designated specifically for LGBTQ significance. Next, please. The Lesbian Her Story Archives is an entirely volunteer-run nonprofit organization. It was founded in 1974 by activist Joan Nessel and Deborah Edel and others, and it was originally housed in their apartment on the Upper West Side. This was a time when the LGBTQ community faced widespread legal and social discrimination, and the archives began as a grassroots attempt to end the silence around lesbian history to share lesbian stories as an integral piece of American history, and to create a physical archive for study and community gathering. It was intentionally feminist in nature and inclusive, with women of color among its early supporters and contributors. Next, please. By 1991, the collection had outgrown its space, and the archives raised enough money to purchase 484 14th Street in Park Slope, which was the center of New York's lesbian community. After more than a year of renovations, the building was transformed into their new home, with space for archival storage and display, offices, community space, and a caretaker's apartment on the top floor. And they were really drawn to it because it was a residential building and a residential feel, which is how they started. And they were able to pay off their mortgage, which really had enormous significance in that they had a permanent home that could serve as a direct response to the pervasive homophobia, sexism, and lack of lesbian space the community had experienced. Next, please. In this location, the archives has grown to hold a wide variety of materials that have been collected and donated by lesbians themselves. The collections are national in scope. They include books, periodicals, files on lesbian activists and community groups, audio-visual materials, oral histories, materials pertaining to issues like marriage equality cases, and personal and professional papers of lesbians from diverse communities, including, for example, from the African-American poet and activist Audre Lorde. And the archives continues to expand their collection and make them more accessible by digitizing them. Next, please. From this location, the community-based organization has broadened its national and international standing, inspired the creation of similar archival collections in other communities, and held numerous events and exhibitions, and contributed extensively to important LGBTQ exhibitions in larger institutions. Next, please. The archives has diligently maintained the building. They've worked with LPC to make minor alterations, such as the addition of a chairlift, to support its use and accessibility as a public institution. The designation highlights its period of significance associated with the Lesbian Her Story archives, which has really played such an essential role in telling the story of a mostly unseen community of women who have contributed meaningfully to America's cultural, political, and social history. And at the end of 2022, Time Out New York listed it among the 15 best things, listed this designation among the 15 best things that happened in the city last year, which was great. And that's it for this one. Do you want me to go through all of them and then take your questions? Okay. So if we could maybe go to Samuel Gompers High School.
We just need a couple of seconds to load up in between.
No worries. Great, and if we could just go to the next slide. Thanks. Located in the Mott Haven section of the South Bronx, Samuel Gompers Industrial High School is a significant civic structure designed in the mid-1920s by William H. Gompert and Walter C. Martin, and constructed in 1931 to 32. It blends medieval revival and Art Deco design features, and the arcaded brick facades and richly ornamented towers make the high school building distinctive among New York City school buildings. It was designated on December 6th, and the commission received testimony supporting designation from representatives of the Art Deco Society of New York, Historic Districts Council, Mott Haven Historic Districts Association, and the New York Landmarks Conservancy. And we're really grateful for Councilmember Ayala's support as well. Next, please. The impressive public structure was identified as a priority by LPC staff in survey work in the Bronx and as well as of schools as a typology. It really stands out as prominent. It fills almost an entire block. It's highly visible, and this is an area where we don't have a lot of landmark designations. Next, please. Samuel Gompers Industrial High School was originally planned as Bronx Vocational High School. William H. Gompert, confusingly, these architect and school names, was the Board of Education's architect and building superintendent, designed the school in a distinctive medieval revival style, which you can see on the left, in 1924 to 25. The architect Walter C. Martin, who succeeded Gompert, revised the design, changing the color of the brick from red to brown and adding elaborate Art Deco-style ornament to the towers and entrances. The Board of Education began naming schools for inspiring individuals at the end of the 1920s, and the Bronx Vocational High School was renamed for Samuel Gompers, the first and longest-serving president of the American Federation of Labor. Next, please. The design reflected the school's innovative curriculum, which had evolved to focus exclusively on the study of electricity. It was the first school of this type in New York City and described as a model of its kind. The building has a square plan and 2 striking towers. Decoration of the towers features inscriptions and terracotta reliefs that illustrate the various trades that depend on expertise in electricity, like aviation, architecture, mechanics, etc. And above the 3 main entrances, large relief panels proclaim the structure's original purpose. Next, please. Samuel Gompers Industrial High School for Boys opened in September 1935. The Wall Street Journal reported that it had one of the most extensive complements of electrical laboratories ever provided for an institution of this kind. And the New York Times praised its course in neon lighting, which taught the principles of the Great White Way, which Broadway was called. Most of the early students were from the Bronx and Upper Manhattan, and by the early 1970s, most students were Black and Latino. We've learned one of its more famous graduates was Grandmaster Flash. Girls were first admitted in the early 1980s. The school closed in 2012 and was converted to an educational campus containing 3 independent secondary schools. And next, please. And with its striking architecture and innovative curriculum serving a diverse student body, Samuel Gompers Industrial High School is really among the city's most distinctive public high school buildings. Okay, and then we can move to Julius's bar building, please. Okay, and then next slide, please. Julius's bar building is New York City's most significant site of pre-Stonewall LGBTQ activism. In 1966, gay rights activists staged a demonstration at Julius's to protest the closure of bars by city and state authorities simply for serving gay people. The event, known ever since as the Sip-In, exemplified the movement's new eagerness to confront society's persecution of LGBTQ people head-on, embracing the direct action modeled on the civil rights movement and anticipating the activism of Stonewall and the gay liberation movement. The designation on December 6th received widespread support and testimony, including from Julius's bar owner, Helen Buford, Sip-In witness Randy Wicker, who referred to the event as, quote, gay people's declaration of independence. Elected officials including New York State Assembly member Deborah Glick, State Senator Brad Hoylman, several organizations including the NYC LGBT Historic Sites Project and Village Preservation, and more than 200 letters and emails. And we're very grateful for Councilmember Botcher's support here as well. We could go to the next slide, please. Julius is located at West 10th Street and Waverly Place in the Greenwich Village Historic District. And as with the 2015 designation of Stonewall Inn, designating the Julius's bar building as an individual landmark officially recognizes its centrality to the history of the gay rights movement and cements the moment of the crucial protests that took place here as its period of significance. Next, please. The building evolved into its current form over the 19th and early 20th centuries, and today appears much as it did at the time of the Sip-In. A saloon was operating there by 1900, and Julius's bar and restaurant opened by 1930 during Prohibition. It soon became known as a gathering place for artists, writers, and journalists, and was the founding location of the Village Voice in 1955. Next, please. At the time of the SIP-in, the LGBTQ community faced restrictive laws and legal and social discrimination across the country. Gay men were targeted as criminals in New York City, and entrapment by plainclothes police officers was common. The State Liquor Authority viewed the mere presence of LGBTQ people on a premises as disorderly and revoked licenses from bars that served gay people. This practice could destroy the personal and professional lives of LGBTQ individuals, as well as shut down the places where they were able to meet freely. In 1965, the Mattachine Society of New York, then the country's largest gay rights organization, was determined to stop the closures and secure the rights of gay men and lesbians to gather openly in public. These efforts were led by their new president, Dick Leitch, who joined fellow activists Randy Wicker and Craig Rodwell, who are shown here. Next, please. The Mattachine Society planned a public action to document the discrimination and force the State Liquor Authority to answer for its policies. 3 conservatively dressed men, followed by the press, would present a letter telling a bar manager they were gay and ask to be served. Though clearly not disorderly, they expected to be denied service since bar managers understood serving a known gay patron to be illegal. The action was carried out by Leitch, Rodwell, and John Timmons on April 21st, 1966. Next, please. After a few attempts, it was at Julius's, which at the time attracted both gay and straight patrons, where the 3 men, joined by Randy Wicker as a witness, received their denial and were able to document it publicly. As Leitch later recalled, the bartender covered the glass and said, "I can't serve you if you're gay, you know that. You're with the Mattachine Society. You know it's against the law to serve homosexuals. We got busted last week." Village Voice photographer Fred W. McDara's photo, shown here, capturing the moment, is one of the iconic images of the early LGBTQ rights movement. Next, please. Media coverage included a sympathetic article in the Village Voice and the New York Times, using derogatory language typical of the time, called the event a noontime sip-in, and that apparently coined the term that it's known as now. A few days later in the Times, William H. Booth, who was the former head of the New York State NAACP and the city's new Commissioner of Human Rights, stated his support for the Mattachine's goals and his opposition to, quote, the denial of bar service to a homosexual simply for that reason. And this was the strongest statement in favor of LGBTQ rights by a major city official up until that time. Next, please. In recent years, the legacy of the SIP-in has increasingly come into focus. Dick Leitch, Randy Wicker, and Craig Rodwell are considered pioneers and major figures in the city's gay rights movement. The SIP-in itself represents the ascendancy of a new militancy and fearlessness, without which the 1969 Stonewall Rebellion might not have happened. As the site of the SIP-in, this building shines a light onto this activism, and it remains a place of active LGBTQ history commemoration. Mayor Adams and Councilmember Eric Botcher celebrated the designation at Julius's that day. And among news and social media coverage, the designation was also listed among the coolest things that happened in the city last year, which was great. Next, please. Oh, sorry, this is the end. The last one is the Melrose Parkside Historic District. And I can just start in. Understand you have time. The Melrose Parkside Historic District is a cohesive group of 38 architecturally and significant single and two-family duplex row houses designed by 2 prolific Brooklyn architects and built between 1909 and 1915. It has a strong sense of place from its intact historic character and contains likely the largest and most distinctive collection in the city of a house type unique to Brooklyn, known as the Kinko House. Next, please. The historic district is located on Parkside Avenue between Flatbush and Bedford Avenues in the Flatbush neighborhood of Brooklyn. It was identified through surveys and in response to requests from property owners to evaluate it, and some of our supporters are shown here on the slide, being interviewed by New York One. And in our study of the district within the broader neighborhood, we really did find it to stand out for the quality of the architecture and the consistency and integrity in comparison to the surrounding areas. The district, as you can see here, includes just the row houses that were built in a very short period of time and share this great quality. Outreach and engagement with property owners began before the pandemic and continued through many conversations, and we had 2 virtual meetings with property owners to talk about the study, to explain what living in a historic district means, and to help build understanding and support for the district. We did get a lot of support here in letters and in testimony, including from some lifelong residents. We did also hear from some people concerned about regulation who opposed designation, and all of that record is in the designation report. Next, please. The name Melrose Parkside reflects the early history of the block, where an 18th century manor house called Melrose Hall was once located and became the namesake for a planned suburban development in the 19th century that actually never came to pass. The property was sold to a wealthy brewer whose son, William Arthur Alexander Brown, began developing it with single and 2-family houses in the early 20th century. And they were built between 1909 and 1915 in distinct rows, as you can see here. Next, please. The dominant house type within the district is an unusual type of 2-family duplex, apparently unique to Brooklyn. The Kings and Westchester Land Company first developed these in 1905 in other neighborhoods and marketed them as Kinko houses. They were designed to offer greater privacy than conventional 2-family brownstones with completely separate entrances. And Brown, the developer, envisioned Parkside Avenue as an exclusive neighborhood and marketed his duplex houses as, quote, the most perfect houses ever built for 2 families, yet with the privacy of a 1-family house. Next, please. The architect Benjamin Driesler composed 6 distinct alternating designs in the classical vocabulary to create what the Brooklyn Eagle described as the latest type of modern house building, with artistic and varied fronts of fine architectural design. The 2 rows of these houses in the district are the largest and most distinctive collection of this house type that we know of in the city. Next, please. In 1912, Brown again turned to Benjamin Driesler to design a row of 8 single-family houses, which he marketed as, quote, easy housekeeping, no basement houses. And these have deep open areaways, and they have a variety of classically inspired elements and wide terraces. Next, please. And in 1913, Eli H. Bishop and Son began building a row of 10 American basement plan single-family houses. Those were built by 1915, designed in the neoclassical style by the architect Axel Hedman. And these are quite elegant houses and feature prominent central entrances and a variety of bowed or flat bays. Next, please. Early residents in the district were white and predominantly born in the United States. By the mid-20th century, Flatbush saw a large increase in African-American and Afro-Caribbean residents. The area soon became the center of the city's growing Afro-Caribbean community, and today, this vibrant block of Parkside Avenue continues to reflect the diversity of Flatbush. The Block Association is active, and the community's excellent stewardship of these buildings contributes to its special character and sense of place. Next, please. So with this distinctive variety of row houses united by classically inspired design elements, the Melrose Parkside District has highly intact historic character and a strong sense of place. The commission voted unanimously to designate the district, and we're very grateful to have Councilmember Joseph's support here. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have on this and any of the previous designations.
Thank you, and I just want to say thank you for capturing the true historical essence of each project in your testimony. I really appreciate it. Councilmember Joseph had to run to another hearing. She had 3 quick questions, so I'll ask them and then open it up for my colleagues. What are the consequences of not landmarking this block?
That's a good question, and I think that, this is an area where people are seeing development kind of encroaching around it, and we did hear from some property owners here concerns about that. So I think by not designating it, then you run the risk that a building could be demolished and replaced by something really out of character, or, something that would disrupt the character of the block. So I think the people who live here and the support we got, some people from, who have lived here for 40 years really do appreciate that character and wanted to see it protected.
Does the landmark status make upkeep of the homes more expensive for homeowners?
That's another question we get, and I think, and I actually, it's one that we talk about a lot with people when we're trying to make sure they understand. Landmark designation does come with more responsibility. You need to, put projects through a review process with the Landmarks Commission. But there, and it's hard to say really what a change in cost might be because we don't know what people would have done otherwise.
But there's definitely a cost.
Well, I think there are, and I'll talk you through some things.
Well, I'm aware of it, just for the record.
I know, because you have
those
a
that are
district.
listening. Right.
So Landmarks doesn't require homeowners to make change. It allows change. People come to us with what they want to do with their buildings. We don't require certain contractors or architects, so people can choose who they want to work with. And our staff has a lot of expertise to actually help guide people to do things that are better in the long run health of their building. A lot of work that people do on buildings, the cost is actually in the labor, like if you have to repoint a facade. And so we can guide people to make sure that they're using the right mortar that's going to actually preserve the building better and may save money in the long run. There are, we guide people to replace windows with units that are appropriate to what was there historically, and doors. There is flexibility. For example, if you have a 1/1 sash window, we can really approve any kind of replacement for that as long as it fits into the historic frame. And so we have these row house districts throughout the city, and our staff is very accustomed to the needs of the owners of these houses. So we really do what we can to try to help them achieve what they need to.
Thank you, Councilmember. Oh, we were joined by Councilmember Nurse earlier, and Councilmember Vernikoff has a quick question.
Okay.
My question is, if the individual property owners, if a specific individual property owner would like to opt out of the landmark designation, do you know if that's a possibility?
Well, the landmarks law doesn't require owner sort of support or consent to a designation. We do work really hard to get it, though, because this is kind of a contract that's going on, and we want to be able to work with people who, want to be part of it. In a district, it's not uncommon to have some people that are not as supportive as others. We work really hard to make sure people understand our process and have someone they can talk to in our staff, and we try to get a majority of support.
So it wouldn't be possible, if I understand correctly.
Well, have one person opt out of a district, no. Typically, no. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do any of my other colleagues have any questions? No? All right, since there's no questions, the applicant panel is excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on any of these 4 items?
Yes, Chair Lewis, there are approximately 5 public witnesses who have signed up to speak remotely. If you're a member of the public signed up to testify on any of these LPC designations, please stand by as you hear your names being called and prepare to speak when the chair says that you may begin. Please also note that in the event that council members have questions, you're asked to remain online until excused, as council members may have questions. We will now hear from the 5 witnesses in the following order. First, we will hear Amanda Davis, who will be followed by Michael Lent, who will be followed by Cheryl Seeley. Amanda Davis to testify first.
Amanda, you may begin.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me, council members?
Yes, we can, and you may begin.
Okay, thank you. My name is Amanda Davis, and I'm the project manager of the New York City LGBT Historic Sites Project. I'll be testifying in support of the Lesbian Herstory Archives and Julius's Bar building. Just quickly, we're an award-winning and nationally recognized cultural heritage initiative founded in 2015 to document historic places connected to the LGBTQ community in the city's 5 boroughs. And we're proud to say that New York City continues to lead the nation in the number of LGBTQ officially landmark sites. The project strongly supports the designation of the Lesbian Herstory Archives as a New York City landmark, which is the first LGBTQ historic site to be designated in Brooklyn. And when we launched our website with an inaugural 100 sites several years ago, the Lesbian Herstory Archives was included. Its resources, particularly its archival photographs, have also been invaluable to our project in documenting many of the 430 plus sites on our website. With a history that spans nearly 50 years and 30 of those in Park Slope, the Lesbian Herstory Archives is likely the first long-standing lesbian-specific community space in the city. It's also an early example of a group run by and for lesbians. The archives was born out of a need to provide a voice for lesbians who often felt underrepresented and unheard in gay male-dominated groups, and to connect emerging lesbian artists and writers with more established ones, at a time when lesbians were less visible in mainstream culture. And access to this previously unknown lesbian affirming literature, ephemera, and other archival items has also empowered women and linked them with their past. The archives' location in Park Slope also speaks to the importance of the neighborhood to lesbian history, because by the early 1990s, Park Slope was popular with lesbians and their families as a place to live and find community, and several lesbian associated groups and businesses, including the archives, operated here. And so this designation of the archives building as a New York City landmark would also highlight and celebrate Park Slope's significance to the lesbian community. And for Julius's Bar, we also strongly support the designation of this building as a New York City landmark. In 1994, when LGBTQ representation as a whole was virtually invisible in mainstream society, our 3 project founders helped create what we believe is the first map in the country to document LGBTQ historic places, and the building that houses Julius's was included. The NYC LGBT Historic Sites Project was founded as a continuation of this early 1990s effort, and landmarking the Julius's Bar building was one of its first priorities. We researched and wrote the National Register of Historic Places nomination for Julius's, which was approved in April 2016, one day before the 50th anniversary of the so-called Sip-In. Julius's being located just a few minutes walk from the more famous Stonewall Inn means that it has a place in LGBTQ history that is just as significant. The events at Stonewall in June 1969 did not exist in a vacuum. In the decades leading up to that uprising, bars were one of the few places that LGBTQ people could gather openly. Yet at the same time, there are always inherent risks, since the mere presence of a homosexual in a bar was considered to be disorderly. Frequent police raids and other forms of entrapment could lead to arrest, loss of employment, and physical and mental abuse, among other threats. With photographers in tow, the game-changing public action by the Mattachine Society on April 21st, 1966, which culminated at Julius's, was the earliest planned effort to capture LGBTQ discrimination in real time. And when we give walking tours in the area, we typically end at Julius's. And young people, in particular, are often surprised to learn that at one time, even in New York City and even in Greenwich Village, LGBTQ people faced these hardships in bars of all places. Julius's is therefore not only a great place to hang out, but also a valuable teaching tool. And so today, the NYC LGBT Historic Sites Project asks that the City Council Subcommittee
Time has
on
expired.
Landmarks approve this designation for Julius's and the Lesbian Herstory Archives. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Now we'll hear from Michael.
Good morning, Chair Lewis, and I want to thank our Councilwoman Joseph and also the Landmarks Commission on supporting the Melrose Parkside Historic District. My name is Michael Lent, and I live at 393-395 Parkside Avenue, along with my wife Diane, who's with me here, and co-owners Jennifer Levy and Paul Schwab. Our home is one of the Kinko homes designed and built in 1909 and 1910. We've lived at 393-395 Parkside for the past 22 years, and we bought our home in 1999 and moved here in 2000. We were attracted to the block because of the beautiful historic homes, the diversity of the neighborhood, and the welcoming neighbors we met. Many people, both homeowners and renters, have lived on the block for many, many years. We have a wonderful block association that has fostered a strong sense of community. Starting in 2015, we became aware that developers had determined that the neighborhood was an up-and-coming one and started buying homes in adjacent lots on other blocks, tearing them down, and building new multifamily dwellings, often not in keeping with the neighborhood's or block's character. The dwellings torn down included wonderful old brick and stone homes. This concerned many of our homeowners and resulted in a group of homeowners providing the New York City Landmarks Commission with information on the historic nature of the homes in our block and gaining the support of many of the block's homeowners. We actually started this process in 2016. So it's been literally 7 years that we've been working on this. We petitioned the Landmark Preservation Commission several times. We understand some of the extra work we needed to do to submit to the staff review, but we think the trade-off is worth it in maintaining the character of this community, which is of vital importance to us. Again, we appreciate so much the work of the Landmarks Preservation Commission in support of this effort, and also our City Councilwoman Lewis as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Excuse me,
Michael.
Rita Joseph.
Thank you, Michael. Now we'll hear from Cheryl.
You're on mute, Cheryl.
I'm sorry. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak this morning.
Good morning,
Sorry.
Cheryl. You may start. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm a longtime resident of Parkside. Oh, good Lord. I'm so sorry. 1 second, sorry. I'm a longtime resident of 25 plus year and a homeowner on Parkside Avenue. I've watched our community decimated by overdevelopment, homes and adjoining blocks destroyed to make way for new and out of context development. The early years had its struggles, but today we are facing new challenges of gentrification, overdevelopment, and destruction of existing homes. Parkside Avenue have experienced the same struggles and threats. We are a diverse block of not just private homes, but also home to large amount of rent-stabilized apartments, including 2 HDFC buildings. Parkside is not just fighting to save the homes on the block, but to preserve this diverse, inclusive, and caring community that we have created throughout the years. I urge the New York City Council Land Use Committee to support the designation of Parkside Avenue as a New York City landmark block. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Is Julie available or Jesse?
Go ahead.
All right, you may start.
Okay, we're in a similar situation to Michael, and I'd like to really second everything he said. He basically told our situation. The only thing I'd like to add is that instead of his 22 years, we've been here for 38. As far as the block deserving historic or architectural significance status, I think the Landmark Commission has done a great job with that. I'd just like to answer really one of the key questions that was asked was, do we need this status? And I would heartily add yes to that. As the other people have said, development is going crazy in our neighborhood, and homes are being torn down and replaced with apartment buildings. And the specific threat to our block is partially demolition, but the worst thing which could happen and is more likely to happen is someone adding floors on top of these houses, which are generally always completely out of character and really ugly. So that's what I'd like to say. We appreciate your consideration of this and would like to say that we and many of the other homeowners are in support of the designation. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you state your name?
Me?
State your full name, yes.
Yeah, Jesse Miller.
Okay, now we're here from
Right.
Julie.
And I'm Julie Miller. I just want to add one piece, which is that we do have a very tight-knit block between homeowners and apartment dwellers. And I have spoken to many of our neighbors who are not homeowners, and they too are in favor of landmarking because they love living on a block where there is so much beauty. And as a homeowner myself, I just want to say that I don't only see myself as enjoying the benefits of my own home, but I feel like I am stewarding architectural history, and that's a responsibility that I accept. And if it costs a little bit more, I'm willing to accept that too. Thank you very much for considering this.
Thank you, Julie. Do any of my colleagues have any questions for the panel? All right, counsel.
If there are any other members of the public who wish to testify on any of the LPC designations heard today, please press the raise hand button now if participating remotely. And if you are here in person wishing to testify, please see one of the sergeants to submit a speaker card.
Being there are no questions for the panel, the public panel is now closed. 1 second. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify on LU 167 related to the Lesbian Her Story Archives at 484 14th Street in Brooklyn, LU 170 related to the Samuel Gompers Industrial High School in the Bronx, LU 171 for the Julius Bar Building in Manhattan, and preconsidered LU related to the application number N230177 HKK for the Melrose Parkside Historic District in Brooklyn. The public hearing for these items is closed and the items are laid over. And now I'd like to take the time again to recognize any of my colleagues. I recognize Councilmember Nurse already. I will now hand it over to council to call for a vote.
On a vote to approve the designations, Chair Lewis.
I now call for a vote to approve the pre-considered application numbers G220027 SCQ and G220028 SCQ, along with LUs 167, 170, 171, and pre-considered application number N230177 HKK. Council, please call the roll.
Chair Lewis.
I vote aye.
Councilmember Feliz.
Aye and all.
Councilmember Marte.
Aye and all.
Councilmember Nurse.
I vote aye.
Councilmember Ung.
Aye.
Councilmember Vernikoff.
Aye.
By a vote of 6 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, the items are approved and referred to the full Land Use Committee.
Congratulations to all my colleagues. That concludes today's business. I remind you that if you have written testimony on today's items, you may submit it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Please indicate the LU number or the project name or the project addressed in the subject heading. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee, council, land use staff, and Sergeant at Arms for their participation today. This meeting is hereby adjourned.